gentle English learning
for real-world confidence.
Hey there, English crafters. Welcome to Craft Your English. I'm Liam,
And this is Chloe.
and we're here to help you build, shape, and perfect your English skills one conversation at a time. Let's craft something amazing together.
Picture this. You're lost in the woods. No phone signal, no GPS, no Google. Could you start a fire, find water, build a shelter?
and probably just ask Siri for help and then remember, oh right, I'm doomed.
Well, our friend Jake just spent 3 days learning those exact skills without any technology. And honestly, it made us wonder.
Have we modern humans completely lost touch with basic survival? And does it even matter?
Stick around because by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what roughing it means, how to talk about skills and abilities like a native speaker, and
And whether you could survive a weekend in the wilderness. Spoiler alert, I probably couldn't.
You're listening to Craft Your English.
where we make language make sense and have fun doing it. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Liam. Today, we're talking about a topic that's surprisingly relevant for English learners.
Traditional skills, because our friend Jake, lovely guy, works in IT, just came back from a 3-day survival course in the mountains.
And he learned things like fire starting, shelter building, and foraging for food. Basically, all the stuff our great-grandparents knew how to do.
Which got us talking, have modern people lost these practical skills? And here's the language learning part. This conversation is full of useful vocabulary and expressions.
So here's what we're covering today. First, the vocabulary you need to talk about skills and abilities. Super useful for job interviews, by the way.
Second, we'll share Jake's actual experience, and I'll teach you phrases like trial by fire, back to basics, and jack of all trades.
And third, we're going to have a little debate about whether these skills actually matter in 2025. You'll learn how to express opinions, agree, and disagree politely.
So grab your notebook or just listen and absorb. Either way, you're going to learn something useful today.
Let's break it down, nice and simple.
Okay, so before we dive into Jake's wild adventure, let's talk about how we discuss skills in English.
Right, because if you're only using can and can't, you're missing out on some really natural expressions.
Liam, give us the basic structure first.
Sure, the simple version, I can swim, or I know how to swim. Both correct, both common.
But native speakers mix it up. We say things like, I'm good at swimming, I'm handy with tools, or I've got a knack for fixing things.
Ooh, knack. Great word. K-N-A-C-K. It means a natural talent for something. She's got a knack for learning languages, means she picks them up easily.
I love that word. And here's one people always ask me about. I'm handy, H-A-N-D-Y. It means you're good at practical, hands-on tasks.
My dad is really handy. He can fix anything. That's how we use it.
Now, what about when you're not good at something? Don't just say, I'm bad at it.
Exactly. Native speakers say, I'm hopeless at cooking. I'm all thumbs when it comes to crafts. That means clumsy. Or my favorite,
What?
I couldn't do something to save my life. Like, I couldn't start a fire to save my life.
Which is ironic because starting a fire might save your life.
Precisely, it's exaggeration for effect. Very common in spoken English.
Okay, quick practice moment. Listeners, think about something you're good at. Don't say, I can do it or I'm good at it. Use one of these phrases. I'm handy with. I've got a knack for. I'm pretty skilled at.
And if you're brave, pause the episode and say it out loud. Seriously, speaking practice matters.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Jake's adventure. All right, here's a quick story. Our friend Jake, total city guy, loves his smartphone, orders food delivery constantly, decided he wanted to learn survival skills.
Why? No idea. Midlife crisis, zombie apocalypse preparation.
He said he felt too dependent on technology. So he signed up for this 3-day course in the wilderness. No phone, no modern tools, just basic gear.
And let me tell you, the phrases he used to describe it were pure gold for English learners.
First phrase, I was thrown in at the deep end. This means you start something difficult without much preparation.
Like if you start a new job and immediately have to lead a meeting, you're thrown in at the deep end.
Jake said, day one, they threw us in at the deep end. We had to build our own shelters before dark.
No instructions?
Well, some guidance, but mostly trial and error. Which brings us to phrase number 2, trial and error. TRIAL and error. It means learning by trying different things until something works.
I learned to cook through trial and error. You make mistakes, you improve.
Exactly. Jake said building the shelter was pure trial and error. His first attempt collapsed.
Chuckling, rough. Speaking of which, phrase 3, rough it. This means to live without modern conveniences, usually outdoors.
We're going camping this weekend, just roughing it in the mountains.
It's always roughing it, by the way, not doing it rough or going rough.
Good point. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Jake said the hardest part was starting a fire without matches or a lighter.
Let me guess, friction method? Rubbing sticks together?
Sort of. They used something called a bow drill. And he said, I'm quoting him here, it was a baptism by fire.
Pause. Wait, that's actually the wrong idiom.
I know. I think he meant trial by fire, which means a difficult first experience that tests you.
Trial by fire. Learning the hard way, usually under pressure. My first day teaching was a trial by fire.
But baptism by fire works too. It means the same thing, a challenging introduction to something.
Fair enough. English has too many fire-related idioms.
Ooh, but here's my favorite part. Jake said that by day 3, he felt so accomplished. He used this phrase, I was getting back to basics.
Back to basics. Returning to simple, fundamental things, stripping away the complicated stuff.
I'm going back to basics with my diet, just vegetables, protein, and water.
Or in Jake's case, just fire, shelter, and not dying in the woods.
Exactly. And he said it made him realize how many skills he lost or never learned in the first place.
Which brings us to the big question.
So, Liam, honest question. Do you think modern people have lost important skills?
Yes and no. I think we've traded skills. We don't need to know how to start a fire, but we need to know how to troubleshoot Wi-Fi.
Okay, but that's a very practical answer. What about the deeper question? Are we too dependent on technology?
Probably. I mean, I rely on my phone for everything. Navigation, cooking recipes, communication.
See, this is what I find fascinating. In my grandparents' generation, people just knew how to do things. Fix a car, sew clothes, grow vegetables.
But, Chloe, they had to. We have the luxury of specialization.
True. And this is great debate language, by the way, listeners. Notice how Liam just said, but Chloe, that's a polite way to disagree.
Right. Other phrases for disagreeing politely are, I see your point, but... That's a fair argument, however... I hear you, though I'd say...
And if you want to partially agree, you're right to some extent, but...
Or, my favorite, I agree up to a point, but...
Okay, so back to the debate. I'd argue that some traditional skills are still valuable.
Such as?
Basic first aid, cooking from scratch, simple repairs. These aren't just survival skills. They save money and build confidence.
I'll grant you that. There's something to be said for self-sufficiency.
I'll grant you that. Ooh, nice phrase. It means I'll admit you have a point.
Look at you, turning our debate into a lesson.
That's what we do. But seriously, here's another phrase people use in debates. There's something to be said for. It means there's value or merit in something.
There's something to be said for learning a musical instrument. It builds discipline.
Perfect example. Now, let's bring this back to Jake. He said the survival course made him feel more capable.
And that's the key word, capable. Not just having skills, but feeling confident in your abilities.
Right. He's not going to live in the woods, but knowing he could survive changed his mindset.
Which brings me to an interesting expression. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Oh, I love this one. Explain it, Liam.
It means someone who can do many things reasonably well, but isn't an expert in any of them.
Like Jake now. He's not a survival expert, but he's picked up useful basics.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Most people don't finish the full phrase. The original saying is, Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it actually means it's good to have diverse skills, not bad.
That completely changes the meaning. Language is so tricky.
So, to wrap up this debate, are traditional skills important?
My answer, some are. Not necessarily for survival, but for confidence, independence, and problem solving.
And I'd say, we haven't lost skills, we've shifted them. But there's value in learning some hands-on practical stuff.
Which is a very diplomatic answer.
I am to please.
All right, let's make this practical. Listeners, we're going to give you some phrases you can use when talking about skills, whether in a job interview, casual conversation, or just describing yourself.
First, talking about what you're good at. I'm pretty handy with. I've got a knack for. I'm skilled at. I pride myself on my ability to.
That last one is great for formal situations like interviews.
Now, describing how you learned something. I learned through trial and error. I picked it up on the job. It was a steep learning curve, means it was difficult at first. I was thrown in at the deep end.
And if you want to sound humble about your skills, I'm no expert, but I know the basics. I can hold my own, meaning you're competent enough.
Ooh, hold my own. That's a good one. I can hold my own in a debate about grammar.
I'm sure you can, Liam. Now, what about expressing interest in learning something new?
I'd love to get better at. I'm keen to develop my skills in. I'm working on improving.
Perfect. Now let's do a quick role play. Liam, I'm going to ask you a question and you answer using some of these phrases. Ready?
Go for it.
So, Liam, tell me about your practical skills. Are you handy around the house?
Well, I'm no expert, but I can hold my own with basic repairs. I've got a knack for fixing electronics. I learned through trial and error as a kid. But carpentry, I'm all thumbs. I couldn't build a bookshelf to save my life.
Perfect. Did you hear how natural that sounded, listeners? He used I'm no expert, hold my own, got a knack for, trial and error, all thumbs, and to save my life.
And it felt completely normal to say. That's the goal.
Your turn to practice. Pause the episode and answer this question out loud. What's one skill you're proud of, and how did you learn it? Use at least 2 of the phrases we taught you today.
And if you're feeling brave, leave a comment or voice message with your answer. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to share one more thing Jake told us.
The secret insight?
Exactly. He said the most valuable thing he learned wasn't how to start a fire or build a shelter.
What was it?
Confidence. He said, now I know that if something goes wrong, I can figure it out. I don't panic. I problem solve.
That's actually profound.
Right? And that's what skills do, whether it's survival skills, language skills, or anything else. They build confidence.
Which is why you're learning English right now. Not just for practical reasons, but because it opens doors and makes you feel capable.
Beautifully said, Liam.
I have my moments.
All right, let's recap what we covered today.
Vocabulary for talking about skills and abilities. Idioms like trial and error, rough it, and back to basics.
how to express opinions and debate politely, practical phrases you can use in real conversations.
And your homework, yes, homework, is this. Try one analog skill this week. Cook without looking at a recipe online. Navigate somewhere without GPS. Fix something small without YouTube.
And notice how it makes you feel. Then think about how you describe that experience in English.
Next week, we're diving into growth versus fixed mindset and learning resilience vocabulary in English.
It's all about how you talk about challenges, setbacks, and bouncing back. Super useful for life and language learning.
If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe so you don't miss new lessons and share it with another English learner. They'll thank you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep exploring, and remember.
It's okay to mess up. It means you're learning. I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. Thanks for listening to Craft Your English.
That's your dose of English wisdom. Don't overdose.
We'll see you next time.